Stressen görzünüz üzerindeki etkileri, v nasıl örneğin, Jesibilsageniz, imagine 48 hours of relentless stress knocking out vision in one eye. Most of us picture trauma, a stroke, or a blow to the eye as the cause, but extreme psychological stress can provoke a vascular reaction that briefly cuts blood to the retina, creating a sudden blind spot. When stress spikes, the autonomic nervous system goes into overdrive, making vessels constrict and choke off blood flow. Take a 32-year-old software engineer who pulled a 48-hour coding marathon with little sleep. His stress hormones surged, and right after the deadline, his right eye went dark, a temporary blind spot doctors call transient monocular blindness. The mix of exhaustion and mental strain shifts vascular tone, making the tiny retinal vessels spasmodic under constant pressure. To see why stress can blind an eye, look at the hormones. Normally, cortisol rises and falls, peaking in the morning at 525 microg/dl. Under relentless stress, the adrenal glands dump far more cortisol and adrenaline into the bloodstream. These hormones tweak the signals in vessel walls, raising resistance and leaving the fine retinal arteries prone to sharp spasms. His blood work showed cortisol at 28 microg/dl, just a few units above the normal high end. In the vasculature, that excess tells vessels to stay constricted, straining the capillaries. The constant hormonal push keeps peripheral vessels tense, shrinking the safety margin between adequate oxygen flow and sudden shortage. People often picture eye blood supply like a sturdy arm artery, but the retina feeds through hair-thin microvessels, the central retinal artery being about the width of a single hair. Those vessels lack the thick muscular walls and redundancy of larger arteries, so any local pinch stops oxygen flow downstream. When cortisol and adrenaline flood those fragile vessels, they can provoke a vasospasm, a sudden constriction of the artery's smooth muscle. The spasm shuts the microscopic channel, stopping oxygen-rich blood from reaching the photoreceptors. Because the retinal circulation is finely balanced, even a brief clamp cuts off local blood flow entirely. Why does a clamped artery create a dark patch rather than blur? The retina holds millions of rods and cones that turn light into signals. Those cells guzzle oxygen more per gram than almost any other tissue. Their huge metabolic appetite means any pause in blood flow starves them of the fuel needed to process light. The eye isn't shut off entirely, only a patch of photoreceptors loses oxygen. When the retinal artery spasms, oxygen in that zone drops within seconds, silencing those cells. They stop sending signals to the optic nerve, so the brain registers a black spot where that retinal area should be. A common myth is that any temporary vision loss signals a permanent stroke. A true retinal artery blockage kills cells within minutes, but a stress-triggered vasospasm is functional, not structural. A clot physically seals the vessel. A spasm merely clamps an otherwise healthy tube, and the blockage is reversible. During a vasospasm, the vessel wall stays intact. The cells are oxygen-starved but still alive. If the muscle relaxes before cell death, flow returns instantly, oxygen revives the photoreceptors, and vision snaps back. Because the obstruction is functional, normal sight can recover fully once stress eases, leaving no permanent damage. Reaching this point isn't caused by a single stressful hour or argument. Cortisol won't spike enough to choke retinal flow. It requires prolonged sleep loss and relentless psychological strain over 24-48 hours, keeping the autonomic nervous system on high alert. That extended state exhausts the body's natural vascular safeguards, letting constrictive hormones accumulate to dangerous levels. After 2 sleepless nights, the sympathetic nervous system stays in fight or flight. Heart rate up, vascular resistance up, stress hormones flowing nonstop. This keeps microvessels poised for severe constriction. Without parasympathetic rest to relax the walls, the tiny retinal vessels stay hypersensitive, primed to spasm at any extra tension. When the engineer arrived at the ER, doctors first excluded life-threatening causes. They ran carotid ultrasounds and brain scans to check for clots from the heart to the eye. Only after those tests were normal did they diagnose stress-induced vasospasm. Ruling out emboli or strokes is essential because those need urgent surgery or clot-busting drugs to stop permanent tissue death. This finding underscores a key clinical point. Never assume sudden visual loss is just stress without seeing a professional. Such loss can herald a stroke, retinal detachment, or a dangerous clot that needs emergency care. Because a harmless vasospasm looks like a permanent blockage on exam, full neuro-ophthalmic workup is required to safeguard vision. Treatment aims at the underlying physiology, not invasive surgery. For him, doctors prescribed strict rest, rapid rehydration, and a structured stress reduction plan to quiet the sympathetic nervous system. As cortisol and adrenaline fell back to normal ranges, vascular tension eased, and blood flow resumed safely to the retina. After a few hours of treatment and rest, his vision returned completely. The dark spot faded as the artery widened again, and steady oxygen flow restarted. The episode is a stark reminder that extreme mental fatigue can squeeze the retina's delicate vessels, shutting down vital function when the body's limits are exceeded. Knowing how the body reacts to extreme pressure lets you guard your health before symptoms appear. Managing stress with enough sleep, good hydration, and awareness of your limits protects the microvascular network. If you notice sudden vision changes, get medical help right away to preserve your eyes and keep your cardiovascular system sound. Keeping your autonomic nervous system in balance is key to preserving your vision and overall health.